Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Your name is very famous in Rwanda,
Yes,
Kagame. Yeah, Paul Kagame. The whole world knows the tall president.
it's a very heavy name, I must say. But
It is.
I'm happy to be here, Mr. Harish. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Paul Kagame has spent over 200 million pounds, $200 million on the Visit Rwanda campaign. It is doing well.
Yes.
The campaign is, I had a phone call from a friend, long lost friend in London. He was watching Man United play somebody else, and he said as soon as the goal went, he saw all the billboards flush with, visit Rwanda, visit Rwanda. And he knew that I was in Rwanda, so he gave me a call straight away. And the campaign is doing the job it is supposed to do,
Sure.
to bring people into Rwanda. But if they don't leave as raving fans, they don't leave satisfied, they don't recommend or they don't return, then all that money will have very little effect.
Yeah, I mean that's
you
very true.
come from the service industry. What are your experiences on? You help people with customer care or service
Sure.
industry. So, how can this spend be well utilized? What
Yeah.
is that? What is it that Rwanda needs to do
Yes.
to make sure that people are getting a warm welcome,
Mm.
a warm handshake, eye contact,
Mm.
a warm greeting?
Yes. I mean that's very powerful. I like the statistics you just shared with us. They're very very fundamental and thought provoking if you can look at it that way. Why? Because the investment that the government made was because it had a vision.
Mm-hmm.
And the vision was to optimize the tourism space and the hospitality space to be able to, grow the economy, increase on the revenues. And recently I was reading a report from the RDB, it was 2024, where they said that they made revenue worth $647 million
From the campaign?
from the campaign.
Okay.
That was 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I'm yet to look at the
So
recent report.
the graph is increasing.
It is.
So it would be, if in 2 years ago it was 600 million. Now it should be $1 billion.
That's true, because they were looking at growing it to probably with an increment of about 30 to 32%.
Yeah.
So you can see that they're on a trajectory of growth, but I feel like there is more that can actually be harnessed out of that.
Yeah, Rwanda has a beautiful landscape. It has
Yes.
gorillas. It has it has a lot to offer.
Yes.
But my concern is that with any business, because I teach businesses,
Yes.
government is also run like a business, though by state officials.
Yes.
Bureaucrats, and bureaucrats are very inefficient.
Yes.
World over.
Yes.
In Kigali, they may be better than in Kenya or somewhere else, but
Yes.
Bureaucrats are very bad at business. And if for any business, if there is no repeat business, if the customer does not recommend you to 10 other people, or does not become a raving fan, he's going to start bad mouthing you.
I mean,
A
that's true.
dissatisfied customer
Yeah.
is going to tell the world.
Exactly.
A satisfied customer is only going to reach out to 10 of his friends. But and social media allows you to express your views
It's more like
to
a snowball
6.5
effect.
billion people.
That's a very big number. It's a multiplier effect. And I think going back to your statement of repeat business is what actually sustains business. I am so big on customer retention as a practitioner of customer experience, and I noticed that the things that delight customers are actually attached to the experiences they get when they interact with your brand. Now, in this particular case, our brand being Rwanda,
Yes.
Rwanda has done the PR, and we've got people into the top of the funnel.
Yes.
And now nurturing them into becoming not just customers, because by coming to the country, they are paid for your service.
Yes.
So they're going to interact with someone at the airport, the immigration, the cab person who's going to take them to their hotel.
Yeah.
They're going to interact with, the front desk person at the
Yeah.
hotel. So all those are moments to create experiences.
Yes.
And you notice that they're interacting with human beings.
Yes.
But here's the moment of truth. The moment of truth is that when they get to meet these people, they actually get the opposite of what they expected. For
Yeah.
those that try, Mr. Harish, for those that try, they still do not hit the mark, because you see, when a visitor comes here, it's because they're well traveled, and it's not that they're coming to Rwanda to Rwanda as a country as their first travel. Even those that are coming for the first time, there's an expectation they have based on the branding you've done, based on the PR you've done, based on the communications and the brand promise that you have made. But when they get into the country, they experience something that is way below their expectations, and that's the moment where the satisfaction levels go down.
Yeah, if I was to recall my personal experience, I went to this stadium, a very well-built stadium,
Yes.
cricket stadium that's not far from, it's Nyanza Memorial, and then
Yes.
further up.
I know it.
I don't know the name. I'm very bad with names, so I ordered a coffee. I ordered a coffee, and I didn't see any activity. So 15 minutes later, I'm calling the waitress back. What's happening to the coffee? Oh, let me. She doesn't even tell me. Let me look at it. She's the person that had given the order, and I'm calling her in, and she's avoiding me. And so then finally, she comes to me, and then I said, "What's wrong with the coffee? How long will the coffee take?"
Yes.
So again, very no concrete answer, no concrete reply. 45 minutes later, I get to know that they don't have milk. I receive my coffee an hour later. No apology, and no communication that we've run out of milk. We are trying to sort it. Is there something that we can help you with?
Yes.
Is there some a soft drink that I can give you? I don't have the milk or the coffee, and this this has not happened once
Yes.
to me over here.
It's monotonous.
It has happened several times,
Several times, yes.
and I've just been here maybe in total no more than 4.5, 5 months.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty much a short time. If you're experiencing that in different places, that means it's a problem.
Yeah,
It is a
that
problem.
needs to be addressed. And if Kenya has learnt the art of hospitality.
Yes.
They know how to welcome guests. Karibu. Can I get you drink of water? Even in not 5-star, but even in 4-star hotels. The experience, the welcome from the reception, from the ushers, the
waiters,
even the
bag
luggage guys,
the
bag
luggage
guys,
guys,
and it's memorable.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a culture of customer centricity.
Yes, they've been trained,
Yeah, yeah.
and they've had they have had a history of catering for guests. Tourism in Kenya is very mature.
Yes.
So they have, for many generations have done this. So they are well versed at it. I don't see that happening. Being the case in Rwanda.
What do you think, according to your observation? I know, 6 or 4 or 5 months that you've been here. It's it has given you a picture, probably not a 360 picture of what's happening, but probably there's things you've noticed, that are nuanced about the culture here. What is it that you feel like could be the root cause? Because if you don't understand the root cause of why things are happening, you probably might have to cosmetically deal with it, but never deal with it to its core. What are your observations based on your
I think
experience?
one is that they've never had the experience,
Okay.
or Rwanda has never been a tourist destination.
Yes.
It has
Yeah.
become a tourist destination because of the spend.
Yes.
Visit Rwanda campaign, is well run.
Yes.
Whoever is running it is doing a fantastic job of it. It is, bringing eyeballs. It is bringing footfall. It is bringing tourists in the country.
Yes.
My concern is not, bringing people in. My concern is they need to leave satisfied, and they need to leave like raving fans that will go and talk to their neighbors and their friends and their colleagues and say, oh, I went to Rwanda and I enjoyed every bit of it. Not just the gorillas, not just the landscapes, not just the greenery, not just the cleanliness, not just the roads, but the people, the smile, the welcome, the greeting, the trust and the comfort that I got. If they can say those words and they've experienced it, I am telling you they are going to recommend 10, 20 people.
That's true. And that's value.
It's value. Because, one-time experience, and again, if somebody has traveled the world, like I have, and seen the hospitality, I've experienced hospitality in cruises. In cruise, the level of hospitality is, I've never seen it even in 5 stars. That is a floating town. You're talking about 7 to 10,000 people being carried with one vessel. Where in the cruise that I went to, we were 4,000 guests and 3,000 staff.
That's a ratio of probably
1-to-1,
one
more or
almost,
less.
Yeah, sure.
And the experience there was that for every 10 tables there was one wine waiter. You would come and say, Mr. Debasia, today you're having a Mexican. This wine will go well with it. I don't drink anyway, but that would be the experience that others drinkers will have it.
Yes.
Then for every 4 tables there is a waiter, dedicated waiter. He would come to me and say, Mr. Debasia, you are vegetarian. What would you like me to make for you?
So they had that information prior.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's so personalized, if I can put it.
Yeah. And they would say, well, would you like me to do Indian? And I would say, no, I'm an Indian. I don't want Indian.
Yeah, yeah.
What can I do then? Can you do something, Chinese or Mexican? Oh, yeah, we can do Mexican. We can do enchiladas. We can do this. We can do that. So that's the kind of level of service that if somebody has experienced it and comes here and, instead of a warm greet and a warm welcome, they get a grunt. Go away. Just not saying the words, but meaning, you're disturbing me.
Yes, yes. And
you're bothering me.
Just talking about your experience with the cruise, I would love to know, how did you feel when all those events were taking place? The questions that were tailored to your needs. What did that make you feel? Because at the end of the day, that's what we want to hear.
It felt like home. It felt like I've reached, maybe my mother's house or something.
Yes.
That's the kind of care and attention. After, a son meeting their mother for, 15, 20 years later, the mother is excited. She wants to please her son.
Yes.
That's the kind of excitement they were showing.
And you're talking about it right now, meaning it's a story.
This was 35 years back.
That's a long time ago. It still stayed with you.
Yes.
It still stayed with you. And just talking about that, Mr. Harish, looking at our country, Rwanda, I know we are a young economy. I know there's quite a lot of moving parts that the government is putting together to see that there's a holistic experience that our guests get.
Mm-hmm.
Because culturally in Rwanda, hospitality is not something that is kind of detached from us. Back then it wasn't the case, but there's many things that are changing, and
I think there is a lack of generational wealth. That is one thing because of the genocide.
Yes, the country has.
You suffered you suffered a loss of a whole generation.
Yes, literally.
Yeah, I think, and that left people unguided.
Yes.
And once you are left unguided, you pick up bad habits.
You're right, because you have no foundation, you have no core.
Yes, I think that is, and I found, being a teacher, being a mentor, I found that it's much harder to erase the bad habits before you can plant in
The good ones.
the good ones. It's far harder. It's I come from the construction industry, and
Are you meaning unlearning?
yes,
Okay.
I come from the construction industry. It's to do a refurb,
Yes.
and you are doing something and it goes wrong. Let's say I was plastering this wall,
Yes.
and the plaster was mismanaged. To redo it again, I have to scrap it again. It's going to cost me 3 to 4 times more. I've already wasted the money on doing it badly.
That's already taxing in its own.
Yeah, and then I have to scrap it, take it off, and then reapply.
A lot of heavy lifting, so much work.
So much work. And
Yes.
that's the same scenario. This is not, I'm talking about plaster, it's the same with behavior. It's the same with learning. If somebody has learned bad habits or or they have not learned the right way, then scrapping it off.
You're more like giving me, metaphorically, if you look at a tree that has grown to a level where it's really strong,
Yeah.
it has branches.
You
and
can't bend
everything.
it.
It's very hard to bend that tree. So do you think it's going to take a certain generation to phase away for us to have a complete shift of culture in as far as service excellence is concerned? Talking realistically.
If the Rwandans don't, the industry will have to survive. The
Yes.
industry will find ways
Of surviving.
of surviving and making this thing come true. If the locals don't train, then people from abroad, neighboring countries, will take their jobs. I see this happening. This being a more realistic solution.
And I mean, that's a wake-up call for the people that are at the front line of, connecting with customers.
Because your ease of mobility is so great.
Yes.
And your relationship with the neighboring countries are so great. Somebody who has been trained in hospitality in Nairobi or in Kampala or in Tanzania
Will
or Dar es
come.
Salaam will come and take the jobs that you had prepared for your own youth.
Because the competition is there and everyone is looking for
The
good
industry can't
talents.
survive.
Yeah.
It can't work with mediocre.
I
Your,
hear you.
your customers are not expecting mediocre service. The server, the company that is, let's say it's Serena. So for Serena, it's easy to get staff from Nairobi, from Kampala, because they have branches there. It's the same thing for Hilton. So it's like in Dubai, the Filipinos are taking all the hospitality jobs.
In
Why?
Dubai, yes.
Because they're well trained.
So what you're saying, training is a very important aspect for us to look at
Yes.
if we are going to see measurable
If you
results.
want to create, there is the major purpose of, I think, for the government to choose, the Visit Rwanda campaign is that every foreign tourist creates 3 jobs locally. Whether it is in Dubai, whether it is in London, or it is in Paris, or the statistics may be even higher here, because labor is so cheap. In London, it's far expensive to hire a driver or to hire a cook or hire a maid or whatever. Over here, it's labor is cheap, so the statistics would be every tourist is generating 4 or 5 jobs.
Just one tourist.
One tourist.
Correct.
And if, let's say, in a year, the campaign manages to bring 1 million tourists, that's 5 million jobs.
Yeah, sure. created.
and well-paid jobs,
Yes.
comfortable jobs, not street sweeping.
Yes.
if your workforce is not able to absorb that, or is not able to train fast enough, then this workforce will come from somewhere else.
So you're seeing a lot of they're rendering the locals irrelevant
Yes.
because they're not upskilled enough to be able to deliver last mile experiences to the
True.
guests.
True.
So, Mr. Harish, honestly, I looked at the budget last year that was, shared by the Ministry of Finance and Planning, and they really put a budget. There is what we call the National Strategic Transformation Plan, NST2, and they are now focusing on capacity building. But the question is, what kind of training do the people that are in the service industry need? Because that's also something to look at. I mean, you can teach them everything.
Okay. I have a friend. Her name is Francis. She was trained and she worked in Italy, and now she's running a boutique hotel, tea house or something.
Yes.
And Francis said that she has apart from that business, she wants to train youths over here. And okay, there is twofold. Francis is not a good teacher because she's a doer. Okay. She likes to micromanage, so she's not very good at teaching.
Executor many of the time.
Yeah, she's a business owner who grinds herself. Even if an umbrella needs to be put up, then she would be the ones who to make sure that it is put in the right place and blah blah blah.
Without waiting for.
So, I had a conversation with her, and she said that Harish, I am finding it so tough to train the local workforce to the level. She runs these two places, two boutique hotels and one workspace, and she's saying that even simple barista, coffee barista, coffee barista has become a universal workforce. It is a universal job title.
It's been adopted.
Yeah,
that's true.
So coffee baristas also, she's finding, she has a tea house, so she sells coffee. She's finding it difficult to find even to train her coffee baristas, let alone anything else.
Is it that the locals are not teachable? Could that be an issue?
She's finding it. She's saying that that's the case, but I'm saying that no human is unteachable.
Yeah, because why is maybe the format in which she's teaching is probably
because she's a doer. She's not a good teacher.
Okay.
So that may be the cause. But again, this is not an isolated incident. She's not the only one. I'm hearing this from.
Yes. So it's multiple other people that have shared with you
but
similar experience.
Okay, if you look at the merchant shipping industry, you look at the tourism industry, the Filipinos are dominating, and because there is a system in Philippines, and that has been going on for 30, 40, 50 years of creating chefs, of creating baristas, of creating drivers, well-trained, well-behaved drivers, well-trained, well-behaved chefs, baristas, and the Filipinos have mastered that art of training their workforce to go anywhere in the world.
So their focus has been on, investing in human intellectual capital.
Yes, that needs to be the case here.
Yes.
In fact, Rwanda needs to export this well-trained workforce.
Because, we don't have as many resources, so I think that would be a very good one for us.
It will create a lot of diaspora income. It will create a lot of remittances back home.
That's true.
We need to establish an industry in which, like the Filipinos have done, of care specialists. India has become the nursing. Every European country needs nurses. They would go to India.
All right.
They would go to Philippines. They'll come to Africa, to Kenya or somewhere. So there is because of aging and all other problems in the Europe, they are short of staff. So Indians India has also a history of training nurses and doctors and whatnot that go all over the world,
I mean, India is
and
like
and also IT
a medical
experts.
tourism hub.
Yeah, and also IT experts.
IT experts as well.
Yeah, but they've all been trained. They're just not good at their desk.
They're trained, meaning
They're
that
also good at dealing with the customer complaint, that it doesn't escalate.
So, you're talking about all these things, and I'm looking at our country, Rwanda. It's at a cusp of, very many things. Right now, the government is there's something the president keeps talking about: service excellence. He's talking, in Rwanda they call it that service zinoze. Like
Okay, there is a French word.
that's the Kenya Rwanda word, like a last mile service.
Okay.
He keeps singing that song, and brands are starting to wake up, but you see there's still a bit of a lag in how are they catching up with the vision of the country, because the country is moving, but I'm afraid that we are not moving at the same pace as the leadership, because the leadership has real plans in place.
Okay, Paul Kagame has done a very good job of creating a blueprint,
Yes.
like the Sheikh of Dubai did. He said that, because we don't have other resources, we don't have oil, or we are going to run out of oil, we need to transition to hospitality, we need to transition to tourism. And it started with just a thought.
Yeah.
Everything we do, we build, it starts with a thought. Yeah. And he put it in, it took many years to bring it to fruition. It may have taken, the original, thinker may have already died. It's his son who is, taking the legacy. So, nothing happens overnight.
Yeah.
But it all happened with a thought. So Paul Kagame had a thought of turning this into the Singapore or the Switzerland of Africa, or whatever he had in his mind. He may have seen something and he wants to replicate it. He's done it very well with the roads. He's done it very well with internet and electricity. He's done very well with the airports, the immigrations, and company formation, the ease of doing business, the ease of mobility. Those things he's managed very well. Even this campaign is very well managed. Where I'm concerned is the last mile.
Yes. And that's very important. I like the fact that you've talked about infrastructure, because that's more like a bedrock on which many things can be built. But the aspect that is still not yet fully optimized is the aspect of the people aspect.
Yes.
And that comes with training and culture transformation. How do we have that done in a practical way? If you could probably maybe share with us, because you're well traveled, Mr. Harish. You've seen
I am,
quite a lot.
and I think nobody should invent a new wheel.
Yes.
These wheels are existing in Philippines. It exists in India. It exists anywhere else in the
Yes.
world. What we need to do is copy those excellent models and create them over here. Philippines was not an excellent in training carers or training front staff or whatever, but they became. They also had a vision that we don't have enough jobs in our country. We need to train them to global standards so that they can work anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The same kind of thinking needs to happen over here. You have a very young
Population.
Vibrant population.
That's correct.
Because very few elderly people. So there is a huge gap in between. But this young workforce, if it is not trained to international standards, will provide average services, and there is no space for average. The next step after average is rubbish.
Yeah, which is uncalled for. No one wants to have rubbish.
Yeah.
So talking about the things that need to be entrenched into company cultures to really have that happen, what are some of the skills you feel are on demand and especially very cut out for what's happening in Rwanda right now?
Okay, people need to, one is that there is I've seen it several times. I've come across a number of guests who I offered free services, and they were expecting me to, listen to them babbling. One guy says, you need to take time to listen to me. I said, why should I listen to you? Who are you?
Help me understand that. I didn't get
So
that.
somebody approached me through TikTok.
Okay.
And said, I've been looking at your videos. I like what you do. Is it possible for me to come and meet you? I said, yeah, welcome. I'm at Norsken. Come and see me. The guy starts a conversation. I need somebody to listen to me. I said, talk. I'm happy, but can we put a limit to it? So I allowed him to talk for 30 minutes or something, and then I said, my friend, you are going round and round the circles. Can you come to the point? What do you need me to help you with? Do you have a business idea that I need you to help with? You need help with, or what is it? No, he's saying, he got frustrated that I'm asking him this question. He's saying, you're not listening to me. I said, is me listening to you important, or solving your problem is important? And that interaction, I had to cut it out, and I had to escort him out of the building. And that was not the first incident that happened to me. There is another guy who works in here, and approached me and said, Harish, I want you to help me with. And then he goes on, and I'm I have to stop him and say, okay, is there a point to what you're saying? Is there something that I can fix? Again, he gets angry. Why is this happening? Why do you expect people to listen to your babbling? Where did that expectation come from?
So is it a communication gap in terms of how do people express themselves, and how are they?
Okay, when in good service,
Yeah.
you need people who can listen.
Good
They can
listeners, yes.
good listeners, people who smile, who give you a welcome. They make eye contact, and I see that even in Norsken here. People even in the common areas, they don't greet each other.
Yeah, I see that.
There is no hello, good morning, how are you? Nothing. Everybody is just doing their business. Even when you are sitting next to somebody, the guy can't be bothered to ask, what's your name?
Where is that coming from, if you will? I would love to understand, because it's no strange thing to me as well. I mean, I've also seen it. People are not personable.
And this is a business hub. What
sense
business
of-
are you going to have if you are not going to connect with people?
The sense of community is not there
Yeah, but again, what business are you going to have?
without a relationship built.
There is no business that is happening without trust. And trust happens through connections.
Which happen through communication.
It happens through communication. If even a business entrepreneurs are finding it tough, then just imagine a level down, 3 levels down below, just workers.
That's a
This is a
fundamental
pandemic.
problem.
This is a serious issue that we are highlighting today,
Yes.
and it needs to be dealt methodically and systematically. But there are schools of excellence that can be modeled, like you have modeled the governance of excellence.
Yes.
You can model the same thing in training your carers, training your front. So there are schools of excellence in every industry, in every avenue that you want to go to, but it requires a sustained commitment. It doesn't happen overnight. It will require many reiterations. It will require many. It's like any class syllabus or any education that I have a guy who comes from Central Africa. I have staff from South Sudan. I have staff from Central Africa.